Hey friend, I'm Brandon Gustafson. I help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. In today's video, we're going to be getting into using a placement agency for your assisted living facility. Should you do it or not? Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net. We have our free underwriting calculator over there that will help you get started. So make sure you go over and grab that. Now let's get into the topic for today's video. We're going to be talking about, should you use a placement agency for your assisted living business, for your facility? Is it the right thing for you or not? Let's talk about that in today's video. So let's first start off with talking about what a placement agency actually is. A placement agency, it's a company that basically they go out and they find the people that want to be in your facility. So let's just use an elderly care facility as an example. So what they're going to do is they're going to go and do some networking. They're going to be the ones that are going out and finding these people. They have websites generally, and they're finding the people that need the services for assisted living, independent living, nursing homes, any of those options right there. They're going out and they are finding those people. And then they have this database of people, and then they partner with people like you that have facilities, and they say, you need residents. We have residents. Let's create a partnership, and we'll give you the leads. And if they go with you, then you pay us a fee for that. That's kind of at its core what a placement agency is and how they work. So they're the ones that are out there. They're probably in rehab facilities. They've got their websites. They're doing marketing to get people to come in and say, I'm really interested. I need a home to put my loved one in, or potentially I need a home for myself. People are out looking for places to stay, and they just don't know where to do it. And these companies, these placement agencies, have really honed in on the SEO, the search engine optimization, to get the people that are interested in that are interested in finding a place to stay. So that's kind of what their whole goal is. That's what they do for their business model. And so it's actually kind of hard for you to rank up really high when people are searching for, assisted living near me, because these companies, these placement agencies pay a lot of money to rank up really high for those types of search terms so that people will find them and start using them. So it's just something you want to be aware of as you get into this. And as you're starting your business, ranking high for certain things is going to be good, but you're also not only competing against other assisted living facilities, you're going to be competing against placement agencies who are trying to get these people to sign up for their services so that they can get paid from you as a provider of assisted living. So that's kind of how they work and how they function over there with these placement agencies. The placement agencies themselves, they get paid directly from you as a provider. So they actually, it's kind of like, let's use real estate as an example, because it's, I think, a good one. If you have a realtor and you are a buyer, you get to use that realtor to go help you find properties and things like that. You go and you buy a home, and then that realtor gets paid from the seller. Their commissions come from the seller when the home is sold. And so it's kind of the same thing with a placement agency. They are essentially like a realtor for people that need these services. And so they go and they find those people. These people need help. They introduce them to, 10 places that have services. And then that resident decides which ones they want to go to. And then if you are the provider that they just decide to go to, you're going to pay a chunk of money over to the placement agency. There's some, it could be the first month's rent. It could be a percentage of it. There's going to be documents that you're going to sign with that placement agency that's going to tell you exactly what that looks like. But you're going to be able to build that in, get really comfortable with what those numbers are. And then as you are kind of doing your projections, your financial projections, you'll be able to tell, if it's going to work or not for you to use a placement agency. But those placement agencies, they get paid from you as a provider. So who are those placement agencies that you might work with? There's one that's a huge one, and you probably have heard of them, or if you do a quick internet search, you're going to find them everywhere. It's A Place for Mom. So A Place for Mom is big in this space. They are probably one of the most well-known options out there for placement agencies, and they have a very big web presence. There are others that are out there, but that's the one that like sticks out in my mind. When I try to search these things, A Place for Mom pops up every single time. They're spending a lot of money in this space because it is their core business model. The other option that you could go though is like a small local placement agency. So these exist and they are local, and they kind of, you can really create some good partnerships there. And so if you want to find something like this, they're kind of hard to find. But if you go and search for, a senior placement agency near me and kind of go through all of the SEO things that are on there for A Place for Mom and some of those other places that are going to pop up on that list, you'll eventually be able to get down to some of these more local ones. And those are the ones that are kind of ingrained in the community. And those are the ones that you might end up having a better experience working with as you get into this, if you want to go the route of using a placement agency. So the question then is, should you use a placement agency? So I'm going to go through some of the pros and cons for you so you kind of have an understanding of what that looks like. From a positive standpoint for why you would want to use a placement agency, there's a few reasons. Number one is going to be you're going to get more leads. You're going to have more opportunities for people to come into your home, more people you're getting in front of, more brand recognition. Like it gets you in front of a few more people. So more leads is a really big one. Number two is going to be they could help you fill your beds quickly. If you've got a few openings and things like that, partnering with a placement agency that has hundreds of potential clients is going to be a really good way for you to get in front of them and help you potentially fill those beds more quickly than if you were to do a lot of this on your own. So that's the second thing. And then the third positive for why you should use a placement agency is it's good advertising. You're paying for it because you're paying for those leads, you're paying to use their services and things like that. But it does get you in front of an audience and puts you on their websites, which gives you like maybe a point of authority and makes you come up in people's searches a little bit more frequently. So that's going to be really helpful for you as you're trying to figure that out. Now, let's talk about why you may not want to use a placement agency. Number one is going to be they're expensive. So when you use a placement agency, typically you're going to be paying them an upfront fee. And I can't remember, we actually talked with A Place for Mom. We decided not to go with them because it was cost prohibitive for us as a small facility. I want to say it was like $1,500 to $2,500 as a base fee. And then we were going to have to pay not a monthly fee anytime that there was a placement. Plus there was a waiting list. So it can be really costly for you as you're trying to get in and use one of these services, and there's no guarantee that you will get those residents. While it probably is going to increase the likelihood of it, it gets you in front of more people, the marketing aspect, all the things that we just talked about with the positives, there's no guarantee that you're getting something. So you could be paying a lot of money to not get a lot of results and get people into the house. The second thing is these placement agencies, they don't care all that much about you as a provider, you as a facility. They don't care about you. Yes, they get paid, but they are so much more focused on the resident, creating a good experience for the resident, creating a good experience and providing them with a lot of opportunities. Because while they get paid from you, the provider, their audience, the people that they want to cater to and they want to make sure that this is a good experience for is the resident. Because if they don't have a good experience with residents, then they're not going to be able to provide them to providers. They're not going to get paid. And so there's kind of this dynamic there that's a little bit weird that you just need to be aware of, that they're probably a little bit more focused on creating a good experience for the resident and not so much for you as a provider. So you just kind of want to take that into consideration as well. And the third thing is you are the one that's in charge of doing all the follow-up. So there's no like, I'm using A Place for Mom and yeah, I might get something access to their tools and things like that. But in reality, I'm still doing all the work. I'm still doing everything. I'm doing the initial call. I'm bringing them in for a tour of the facility. I'm doing all the assessments. There's nothing there that is making that placement agency where they're helping you expedite that process. You're still going to have to internalize those processes. So you're still going to need to have these things in place so that you can move forward with it. So that's another thing where it's just like, is it really worth it to use a placement agency when you're still going to have to do all of the work and things like that? It's up for you to decide if it's for you or not. Now, what I want to really talk to you about is, what about for a small assisted living home, a small facility, a care home? Does that make sense? And what I would say is, for you, if you're at one of these small homes, like what we teach here at Assisted Living Investing, then you're probably going to be better off to use a small placement agency, small local placement agency that can kind of help you through the process, rather than a large placement agency, unless you have a network of facilities and you need to do things. But building that relationship one-on-one with another small business owner that's local to you is really going to benefit you quite a bit as you move through all of this and you're trying to place the beds and provide the best service possible to your residents. So what I would suggest, if you want to go the route of a placement agency and you're a small facility, go find some of these small placement agencies. Partner with a home health agency, partner with some of these other groups, and create a bit of a network there so you can all work together and create this ecosystem that's going to benefit the community where you're at. This is how small business works and why it's so important for you to do that. If you're a big facility and things like that, and you're one of the Brookdales or something like that, and you need this, go ahead and do a partner with one of the large placement agencies. Like, you're going to probably get some cost breaks and things like that in there. But you're a small facility, I want to look out for you and make sure that you're getting the best services that you need. So I would suggest going with somebody that's more small, more local, that's going to help you out in meeting the needs so that you can best serve your residents. If you're interested in learning more about placement agencies, then comment placement agency down below so I can do a little bit more of a deep dive on that, and comment your questions or your experience with placement agency as well. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well so you get notified every time we go and put this content out. We go live on Tuesdays. We put out other long-form video on Thursdays, so we're putting out a lot of content. Make sure you get over to the Facebook group as well, where I put out more questions and some other long-form things. And get over to the website. We have a ton of resources over there, free resources. We'll have links down below. We have our blog is going crazy. We have the podcast. We have a lot of information out here on assisted living investing, because what I'm here to do is help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. If you are interested in and need some extra help, if you need help building that business plan, that base of everything you do, check out the business planning guide. It's going to help you underwrite, do market research, and build that business plan and get you really started off on the right foot so you can start making some progress. And if you feel like you need some extra help along the way, check out the Accelerator program or check out the Mastermind program. I love helping people. We're bringing a ton of new people in here. I love helping people along their journey. It's been so much fun to work with you all that are members of the Mastermind, and for you that are watching this that are going to be future Mastermind members. I'm super excited to work with you. Go ahead and check that out at assistedlivinginvesting.net/mastermind to learn more about that. So I hope all this was helpful. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you? You just don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, we're here to help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. I love doing this. I love helping you, and I want to make sure that you remember that it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going step by step by step. And if you do and you're consistent and persistent, I promise you, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching and have a great day.